How to create fantasy names. Well, we've all read fantasy novels and played fantasy TTRPGs, but sometimes names just sound like this. He revealed his sharp steel and thrusted it towards the masked opponent, saying, "I know your name, Xana... What? I'm going to teach you how to make good sounding fantasy names that aren't hard to read. But I can't do it alone. I need my #1 Canadian friend, Zachary Meikle from Bard Soup."
Hey, it's me, Zach from Bard Soup. I don't have a whiteboard, I don't know what to do with my hands, but I am here to teach you how to name good. Everyone's saying your names aren't good, and we're gonna fix that for you. You and me, Elliot, we got this. We're gonna fix their names.
Archaic words. I'm talking about words that are not in the current day lexicon. We have Latin, or, since I'm making Gothica Plagueworlds, which is a Victorian-inspired game, I'm using a lot of Old English. So you're probably wondering, Elliot, how are you gaining access to these old, ancient words that have been lost to time? It's Google, okay? And sometimes they might mistranslate certain things, but it's fantasy world. We can live with that. Let's look at this example. The word peace translates into Old English as the word frith. A word I've never heard of. I'm English. That's supposed to be Old English. Does it sound awesome and fantasy? Yes, it does. Are we using it? Yes, I am. Merge two words together. Now, that sounds really easy. Actually, it really is easy. Let's look at this example. So, frith is the word we gained from over here, and sheer, not shire, by the way, is the suffix for most counties in England, and I'm making a game that's sort of set in Old England. So, frithshire. Okay, so it's a land of peace. That was really easy. What?
Now, hold up, Elliot. Unlike you, I am neither old nor English. So here's a similar but alternate method that I like to use. Google Translate. Whenever I'm struggling to come up with a name for a person or a place, I like to take a couple of keywords that sort of embody the thing that needs to be named. And then I put those words into Google Translate and sort of cycle through a few different languages until I find something that feels like a good starting point. For example, let's say my players are going to meet the leader of a thieves guild, and he has a reputation for being dangerous or scary. I might enter scary thief into Google Translate, and after flipping through a few languages, I click on Luxembourgish. Scary thief in Luxembourgish translates into Grugeleg Dief. And that's a bad name, but that's okay, because this is just our starting point. We're going to take these words and alter them so that they sound more like a name that you actually want to say. Dief sounds like it could be a first name. And maybe we take Grugeleg and we move a few letters around or shorten it so maybe it sounds more like Gruljeg. Dief Gruljeg. Greetings, friends. The name's Dief Gruljeg. You shouldn't have come here. Sounds scary enough for me. I'm John Mulaney. Anyway, ignore that. This method is also really good for locations. Let's say my players will be traveling into the realm of a fire giant king, and I want to come up with a menacing name for his castle. I might take Giant's Castle and translate it into Slovak, which would become Obrihrad. I could then smush those words together into something like Oberhad Castle. And boom, we've got a perfectly functional name. And at last, after a long, bloody battle, the last of your foes are defeated. The bridge is open for you to cross. And you see your destination lying before you. Oberhad Castle lies waiting. Remember, all names are made up. And if you say it with conviction, everyone will accept it without question. If this method doesn't work for you, sometimes I've just slammed words together like a head-on collision between two competing dictionary delivery drivers, and after combing through the blood and the bones, I find some word combinations that make me laugh. And that usually works pretty well for me. Names like Marlin Whisperhands, Slade Chronic, Ruckus Perez, all real names that I've run at my table, were all born from this method. And I don't know, I think they work. If you want more tips, I don't know, become a waiter. Get out of here. Back to Elliot with you. Go on, get!
Common and fantasy. Okay. What does that mean? Well, let's say you have a common word. What would be the fantasy variant of that word. Spice up a little bit. You can also reverse engineer it. If you have a fantasy word, what would be the common variant of that word? And because I'm extra lovely to you guys, I'm going to give you an example as well. Okay, the common version, dark flame. Sounds like a spell, or maybe an enchanted sword. Let's grab the archaic words for dark and flame. Dark in Old English is Dyork. Don't know how to say it. Don't come for me, Old English people. And flame is fur, without the irony. Fur, but with a Y. So dark flame becomes Dyorkfur. Sounds cool to me. And this is my last tip for you guys on how to name cool sounding fantasy things. Okay, old and new. You'll see that's 3.5 because it's kind of similar to common and fantasy, but let's say Frithshire is our old name. We got it from an archaic word. Makes sense to me. What's the new version? Well, let's take that first word again, peace. Instead of going archaic, let's just go synonym. All right, peace changes to haven. What's the synonym for sheer? Lands. Smush them together. Haven lands. Did we just create a new word from an old word and build lore in the process? I think we did. Use this to make great sounding fantasy names. And as always, if you think this is pretty cool, you should check out Gothica Plagueworlds because all of this is being used to build that game. What is it? It's a 5e compatible TTRPG all about diseases and plagues, and it's set in a Victorian inspired world. Wow. Goes live on Kickstarter in November, but you can sign up now if you like, just to follow, if you're cool. Anyway, see you next time. And as always,